Hey guys, so today I'm going to walk you through a couple of things in Excel. Now, one kind of quick note is that this might look a little bit different than if you're doing it on a school computer or your home computer because I am using a Mac. I will do my best to kind of point out the differences that exist, but there will be some kind of small differences that you'll notice. This should help you a little bit with getting started on Project 2, the the histogram and frequency table project. So what I have here is I just have some kind of fake exam grades created in this column A. And the first thing that I want to show you how to do is how to actually sort that data. So what you're going to do, and this should look pretty similar if you're using a Windows computer, is you should see a data tab at the top. So first thing you probably want to do is go ahead and you can either click and drag and highlight your data, or you can just click on column A to highlight all of this data. And I'm going to click on the data tab up here, and then this is going to look a little bit different when I do it than when you do it, but when I go to sort, I'm going to do a custom sort because that's kind of the default on a Windows computer. So what you're going to see is Excel is pretty smart. It does a pretty good job of guessing what you want to sort by, and it's already told me that probably I want to sort by exam grades from smallest to largest, which is exactly what I would like. So if I click OK, it sorts my data for me. So now I have my lowest observation of 53 at the top, my highest observation of 94 at the bottom. So this makes it pretty nice. So let's say that I want some kind of grade distribution. So I'm going to call these right in this column my grades, and then I'm going to create a column called frequency. So I'm going to do grades. I'm going to just do like letter grades, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 99. And let me just make this font a little bit bigger so we can see it a little better. And I'm going to auto size this so it's a little bit wider. All right. So one thing I could do is I could just go ahead and count up my frequency. So if I look from 50 to 59, if I highlight these, what you'll see if you're using a Windows computer is not only does it give you the sum, it gives you the count. I'm going to select count down here. So from 50 to 59, I know that I have 3 observations. So I could go through and I could count all of these. It's not too time consuming, but I want to show you another way that you could do it in case you don't want to count all of these. So I'm going to show you 2 different options you have. They're both using this COUNTIFS formula. So this is what I'm calling the basic COUNTIFS formula. And it's not really basic, so if it confuses you, don't feel like you're not understanding something that's easy. It's not particularly easy. But let's go ahead and see if we can use it here. I have the formula kind of written out with some instructions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in the cell where I want my frequency, and I'm going to start to type equals COUNTIFS, and I'm going to go ahead and double click once I see it pop up. And then what I'm going to do, oops, I accidentally highlighted some data. I go ahead and I select all the data that I want to count, which are my exam scores. So I just click on column A, and then I put a comma, just like it has here. So all I did so far is equals COUNTIFS. I selected my data, I put a comma, and then I want all of the values that are less than or equal to 59. So I type less than or equal to 59, and then you'll see that I have double quotes here. I have to end those. So far I have equals COUNTIFS. I selected my data. I put a quote mark, or double quotes really, and then less than or equal to 59. And then I put another comma, that's this right here. I select my data again. I put another comma, that's this part right here. And then again, I put a double quotes, and I want all of the values that are less than or equal to 59, which I already have, but also greater than or equal to 50. So I put that, and I also have to end my double quotes after the 50. And I hit enter, and you'll see that it counted my data for me. Okay, so I counted this by hand, I got 3. I typed in my formula, I got 3 as well. Now, the nice thing about this is now I can go and I can copy. I'm just hitting Control C on my keyboard, and then I can paste it down here by doing Control V. And you'll notice everything stays the same. The only thing that I'm going to need to change is I need to change my numbers. So for this frequency, I want all of the numbers that are less than or equal to 69, but greater than or equal to 60. So I just need to change those values. And I'm going to go ahead and paste these down here as well. I'm going to need to change them. For this one, I want less than or equal to 79. Whoops. 79, greater than or equal to 70. This one, I want all of the values that are less than or equal to 89, greater than or equal to 80. And this one, I want everything else, less than or equal to 99, greater than or equal to 90. And if we look at the sum of all of these here, got to change this back to sum. I have a total of 23 observations, which is good because if you look here, I also have 23 rows that I've selected. So that's just one way to get your frequencies. You'll notice that it's particularly useful when you have a lot of observations. Here, I probably could have counted in just as quickly of an amount of time, but when you have a lot of observations, it's kind of a nice thing to do. So what I want to do now is I want to go and show you just one other way of doing this, okay? It's going to give the exact same results, but it's just a slightly different use of the COUNTIFS function. So what I'm going to do is switch over to this other tab where I have a different formula over here. I have my same exam grades, and the first thing you'll notice is they're not sorted. So I want to go ahead and sort these. So just a reminder, you select column A, you go over to Data, Sort, and then you want to sort the exam grades from smallest to largest. So this is good. And now if I go back to my basic tab, I had grades and frequency. I'm going to set it up a little bit differently. So I'm going to call this my lower bound, this my upper bound, and this my frequency. And you'll see why in just a minute. Let me make these a little bit larger font, and let me make the columns a little wider. Okay. So I want to use the same groupings that I did before, 50 to 59. So my lower bound is 50, my upper bound is 59, and then I had 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 99. And you'll see in a second why I set it up this way. Because I want to use my COUNTIFS function, but if you look back at how I used it before, if I click in one of these cells, we can see it up here, I actually had to type the 59 and the 50. I'm going to be super lazy. I don't even want to type those numbers, so I'm going to use the actual cell references here. So the version of COUNTIFS that I would consider more advanced would be this one that I have here. And it starts exactly the same way. So I type equals, I start to type COUNTIFS, and make sure you don't select COUNTIF, you want COUNTIFS. So you double click on that. Once you've used it once, it kind of pops up there. I select my data, which is going to be my exam grades, so I click where it has the A, and I select all of column A. Then if you look here, I need to put a comma, so I type my comma. And now I still do less than or equal to. And then what I want to do is, right after my less than or equal to, before I actually type the 59, I close the double quotes, and then I type an ampersand. That's this right here. It's Shift 7 to get the ampersand. And then I actually click on the cell that has the value of 59 in it. And what the ampersand does is basically it tells Excel that you want to put these two things together. So it's going to kind of concatenate less than or equal to and whatever's in cell D2 together. So that's this part, and then I put a comma, and then I have to do my second criteria. So I'm going to select my data again, which is in column A. I put a comma, then I go down here and look. I want all of the values that are greater than or equal to. So again, I have to put my double quotes, and then I do a greater than or equal to. I close my double quotes. I do an ampersand so that Excel knows to put this together with my 50. So what this is telling Excel to do is count all of the values that are less than or equal to 59, but also greater than or equal to 50. And now if I hit enter, it gives me that same frequency that I had over here, the frequency of 3. But now the nice thing is I can take this in Excel, and if you go to kind of the bottom of the cell where you get this kind of solid plus sign and you double click, it automatically copies your formulas straight down. So now I have 3, 2, 7, 8, 3 as my frequencies. That's exactly what I had here, except I only had to type my formula once, which is really, really nice. So if I go in here to see what it's doing, you always kind of want to double check that Excel is doing what you think it's doing. So if I go in here, this one is doing COUNTIFS. I have my data selected in column A, and for this one it's taking all of the values that are less than or equal to 79, and at the same time it's taking the values that are greater than or equal to 70. So basically it's taking anything that's between these two values, including the 70 and the 79. So that's just a little tutorial of COUNTIFS. If you need any extra help, feel free to let me know. If you Google Excel COUNTIFS function, I'm sure you'll get some other good results as well, but hopefully this at least should have taught you how to sort your data. It's absolutely not a problem to just count your values up as well. That will definitely work. Just trying to show you guys a little bit extra in Excel in case you're interested. Thanks for watching.